Good afternoon, everyone. Jason here. Today is August 3rd, and I wanted to go through a couple of trades with you here today. Like we talked about late last week, we were going to get started back into making some videos here, and I wanted to spend just a minute talking to you about today's trades. Every day when you come log into the trade room, whether you're a member or a guest, you'll have access to our daily trade plan, and it looks about like this. We send you a link to it and you have a chance to go in and take a look. And so this is what we were looking at here today. As we were getting into the ES today, it was a pretty clear picture for us. We thought that the market was looking to grind higher here. You have this composite value area high from a 3-day composite value area from a few days back. The market tried to push down into this developing value area and could not get up through it, and then eventually began to rally. And that's kind of what you saw happen here today on the ES. If you look at this trade plan, we didn't really have much in the way. We had a couple, 2 or 3 ideas for long and really not much in the way for looking short in the market. We were pretty biased to the long side. So the market opens up here just below one of your market maker levels. This RTH signal pulls back into this developing value area, and we were looking to get long on the first push back into this area. I ended up getting stopped out for, gosh, I think it was, hang on a second, I'll tell you my first stop, and you'll see this on the video. 7 ticks on the first pullback, then it rallies, and then on the second time I get stopped out to the tick here at 32.77.5, and it was literally to the tick. Immediately jumped back on board again. And that is really when the market began to rally. And so, again, we were looking at our delta, and we had talked about in the trade room today, we had talked about the fact that the delta was falling fairly dramatically here. And so if you bring this back, and we'll come back here to, let's see, this was about the time that we got in, which was about 8:35 in that neighborhood, 8:35, 8:40. And so if you look here, the delta had been on a pretty aggressive push to the downside, right? But not being able to take price with it, right? So if you come back here and look here at around 750 this morning, which is about right in this area, you'll see the price has begun this process of coming down, but our delta had begun the process of coming down, meaning there were more sellers than buyers in the market, yet price was not following suit. So there was a nice divergence there. We began to kind of go sideways here right around our time of entry, right around 8:45, and that was right here in this area. We were long again, and then boom, the order flow came in to support, and that's we'd taken this stop here to the tick initially, and then we ended up riding this for 8 points. Now the market did rally. We were talking in the room about a target being up here at around 95.75. One of your market maker levels, 95.75. You turn off this overnight level here for just a minute. We were looking to try to target maybe all the way up into that spot there. Market comes back, pulls back just a little bit, rallies, then pulls back, and eventually, as we make it into the balance of the day, you get to within just a couple of ticks, really, of that high up there. And that was a place that we were looking at. This was a long, grinded out kind of process here today. And again, you would have, this is the point where we get stopped out on this pullback. Market does rally back up again. So nice trade. We've taken a couple of small losing trades, and then of course we come back and take the one winning trade that gets us all the way where we needed to get to. On the CL today, it was a little bit cleaner. One of the things that we talked about here on the CL is that we had gotten into, let me move this out of the way for a second. We had gotten into this previous value area low down here, right? And so this was a composite value area of the previous 2 trading days. The market sold off into that value area low, tried to rally back up to the middle of the developing value area, then pulled back again. And so once that behavior was exhibited, then your expectation is that you're going to cruise through value and get to the other side of the value area, and that's exactly what we did. Market rallies up, comes back into one of our market maker levels here again, the RTH signal right here. Could not get back into the value area. We get long right here. You're going to see this is a pretty long trade today. We were looking to ultimately target 41.04, and we talked about even as high as 41. 19 up here today. We had talked about that. Market ends up doing all of that. However, we got stopped out on a pullback for 40 ticks. So market rallies up here all the way up to 60. Sorry, that was 86. This was another value area here from a previous session at 77. We got stopped at 75. Market comes back into the developing value area and then continued to rally. And so you could have held on down through here. That would have been a lot of heat, though, from an 86 down to 52 pullback. You'll see us. We get stopped here at 75 for 40 ticks. And that's what you'll see on the price ladders here today. So I was down ticks on the ES after a couple of small losing trades. Ended up getting a nice winning trade with a nice reward to risk. And then, of course, one CL trade with a very good, I think it was ended up being a 4.5 to 1 reward to risk trade on the CL. Now, I'm going to take these trades and I'm going to split them up and put some music behind them. Do that thing that I always do, speed them up, put some music, and let you see where we get in and where we get exit at. What I'm going to do, though, the first trade you're going to see is I'm going to talk about the CL trade, and then you're going to see where I get in. And then the very next trade is after, it's the re-entry after I get stopped out down here to the tick at 77, right down in this area, right? So when I get stopped out to the tick right here at 77.5, you're going to see me re-enter here, and you're going to see us carry it on up through, and then you'll get to see the rest of that trade. So CL trade, then I had in the middle of the ES trade, I had a losing trade where I got taken out to the tick, and then you're going to see the re-entry and watch that trade go through to completion. So as always, the P&L is shown live on screen during the entire session, and you'll get to see that on those price ladders just as you see them here today. So without further ado, here are those OTG trades. 15-minute bar here. I'm in at 35 on the CL. Stop is 26. And I'd like to see us close north of 39.40 on the CL. All right, I'm in on the ES. Stop is 77.25. This will be the last time I try this idea again on the ES. Just when you get taken out to the tick, the idea is still valid.